Hello everyone, welcome back to the economics discussion, and the topic for today's discussion is the Pareto optimality. And I have made the first part of this video, and please first watch that one and then come to this one. Then you will be super clear about this particular topic related to the Pareto optimality. So Wilfredo Pareto, in his book Manual of Political Economy, gave this concept of welfare economics, that is the Pareto optimality theory, that published in the year 1906. So this is the condition related to the efficiency of allocation of factors among firms, or we call it as the efficiency in the production. So for this particular diagram that you can see over here, so this diagram that you can see over here showing the isoquant curves. And what is the isoquant curve? Isoquants shows all the different combinations of labor and capital that a firm can use to produce a specific and constant amount of output, right? So हम यहाँ पे different combinations of labor and capital को देखते हैं, जो कि same amount of क्या produce कर रहे होते हैं, output को produce कर रहे होते हैं. So हम यहाँ पे दो firms ले रहे हैं, okay? As you can see, we are taking two firms and two factors, okay? So the two firms are A and B, and two factors, labor and the capital. So over the y-axis we have capital, and over the x-axis we have labor, okay? And higher the isoquant shows higher level of output. As firm A moves A1, where is firm A isoquant? This one. So as the firm A moves from A1 to A2, A2 to A3, A3 to A4, and A4 to A5, its production also increasing by using the different combinations of the labor and capital. And same happens with B as well. As B moving from B1 to B2, B2 to B3, its production also increasing as the isoquant increasing from this one to this one, okay? Now you can see what Pareto actually talk about in his condition or in his theory is that according to Pareto, we cannot increase output of one commodity without reducing the output of the other commodity. So in order to increase one commodity, we have to sacrifice the other commodity production as well, okay? And that is how the solution came in the technical condition for Pareto optimality, okay? And that solution is slope of A, MRTS, of labor for capital of A should equal to MRTS labor and capital for B, okay? So what is MRTS? MRTS is the slope of isoquant. आइसोक्वांट की स्लोप को हम क्या कहते हैं? MRTS कहते हैं. दैट इज़ द मार्जिनल रेट ऑफ टेक्निकल सब्सटीट्यूशन, ओके? एंड all these points G, E, H, I, J that you can see over here, all these points showing this condition only. So as we move from A1 to A2, you can see the isoquant of firm B moving B4 to B5. So as we increasing the production of firm A, firm B production getting reduced. As we increasing the firm B production from B1 to B2, as we move forward, you can see A's production is reducing as A4 moving towards A5 moving towards A4. So A's production is reducing while B is increasing, and we can see the condition that Pareto give us that according to Pareto, we cannot increase the output of one commodity without reducing the output of the other. So as we increasing the output of A, the output of B is reducing, as we increasing B's output, A's output is reducing. So G, E, F, I, J, all these points are Pareto optimality points on which output of firm A cannot increase without reducing output of firm B, and vice versa. If we have to increase the output of B, A's output is reducing, and if we want to increase A's output, B's output is reducing. Okay. Initially economy on G point, as we move G to E, is all these points. If we join all the points on which the slope of A and B tangent to each other, if we join all these points, we got the contract curve under the Edgeworth box. So as we move from G to E to F, we can see if the production of one firm is increasing, the production of other firm is reducing. Okay. And as we move from point J to point I, we can see the output of firm B increases from B1 to B2, but the firm output reduces, but firm A output is reduces from A5 to A4, and that is A5 and A4. So from here we can see firm A's output reducing, and from here we can see firm B's output reducing. So this is the optimality condition, that in order to satisfy or to do production of one commodity, we have to sacrifice the other one, and that is how in welfare economics things happen. So I'm going to talk about the first and second condition in the third condition that summarizes the second and first one, that we called it as the efficiency in allocation of factors among commodities, or we called it as the efficiency in product mix. Okay, so or we called it as the product mix. So you can see the diagram over here. So in the diagram, okay, in this diagram we can see PP curve, and that is the production possibility curve that shows the production, and we have the IC curves that shows the consumer satisfaction and consumer preference. Where these points are where these curves, PP curve and the IC curve, tangent to each other, here we got the point E, and that is showing economy is producing according to the preference of the consumer. So with the use of labor and capital, the two firms are producing only those commodities which consumer prefer, and that gives maximum satisfaction to the consumer, and which maximize the consumer satisfaction. And for this, Pareto give another technical condition, and that is MRT, marginal rate of transformation for X and Y, should equal to marginal rate of substitution for X and Y. That MRS showing the slope of IC curve and MRT is showing the slope of PPC curve in the diagram which is shown over here. So according to this condition, for social welfare, according to preference of consumer, we should produce goods that maximize consumer satisfaction. So here we have Y good and X good. Please don't mind this, I write it in the wrong way, but this is Y good and this is the X good. Okay, simultaneously efficiency in consumption and production, MRT between the product should be equal to MRS of each consumer. Okay, so this diagram is actually explaining the first condition and the second condition, that consumption and production that is shown by MRT, marginal rate of transformation, or the rate at which one good must be sacrificed to produce one more unit of another good, should be equal to MRS, which is which measures the willingness, if how much of good Y a consumer sacrifices for an additional unit of X good. So these two must be equal to each other to sum up the welfare condition of Pareto, and this is the technical solution given by him. So this is all about the Pareto optimality. If you have any confusion, you can definitely comment in the comment section, and thank you for seeing this video. I'll come with another concepts as well. Thank you very much.
Na 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 na